Howdy folks, welcome to the channel. I'm out in the brewery and today I'm doing, well, I'm not brewing, but I'm putting together some beer using this fella and this fella. But quickly before we do that, big thanks to the patrons of the channel. There's a link down the bottom. If you subscribe, thank you. If you'd like to subscribe, there's a subscribe button down there. Hit that, ring the bell, then you get notified you don't miss any videos. And give me a thumbs up while you're at it. But what I'm doing today, I said, is playing with these two, and this I've been keen to get this done for a little while. This is the sour cherry juice, which I've had around for a little while. I've had this since October. It's dated on the keg. The sour cherry juice itself's been floating around since last cherry season. She's highly, at this point in time, she's highly carbonated because it's been fermenting away in the keg, and it's currently sitting at around 17 psi, and it's done that because, well, it's spontaneously fermented. Now, I've talked about this quite a lot, and I've been wanting to do stuff with it and haven't got around to it because I was waiting to do a couple of things, and this is where this comes, where this cube comes in. But this is our cherry juice. It's looking quite dark and grungy looking, but it's just got this amazing vibe going on, this flavour and the sourness, and it's just really nice, and it's too good to waste. In all honesty, it's somewhat drinkable like that. I think you get over it pretty quickly, but that I believe is going to work real well for two experiments I want to do, and I'm going to get them started today. So one, I wanted to use this in a cherry in a stout. I did want to use it on the cherry stout that I brewed out of Bulla Creek, but Mike wasn't real keen on letting this stuff loose in the brewery. He didn't want to bring it into the brewery in case it infects everything. Check your sour brewery history. You'll find that more than one brewery over the last couple of 100 years has turned into a dedicated sour brewery due to the exact spores and funk that have caused these cherries to spontaneously ferment. So I don't blame him. We just use normal cherries, but I've wanted to do this. So he said, take some of that juice home, play with it in your place. Yeah, go for your life. I'm not so concerned about it getting right for everything because I'm going to very much restrict where it does or doesn't go to some degree. We'll find out whether we can. But what I'm going to do, first thing, is I'm mixing up two batches. So, get this first one going. And what I'm going to do with this fella is I'm going to take 10 litres of this. I was going to bring that in under pressure, but I'm just going to do it with. I'm just going to do it with this bloody tap. It's going to get a little bit frothier than it needs to be, but some aeration won't hurt. So there's really no oxidation in here. No oxidation. There's no oxygen in here. There's no oxygen in this stout. So this really isn't going to hurt, I don't think, if I do it this way. We'll do it like this. So what I want to do is this fermenter, which is going to have 10 litres of the cherry juice, and 5 litres of the stout. And I'm just going to stick this in the ferment fridge, 19 degrees. I've got the fridge coming to 19 degrees at the moment. And I'm just going to let this cherry juice continue, I'm hoping, continue to spontaneously ferment the stout that goes into this. Now, this is still going to be, 2/3 the cherry juice. But what we're getting here on this base is something that, and this was first said by Mike from Bulla. He commented that it's got a very a Grand Cru type of vibe, and that's very true. It has got that sort of a feeling. So I'm thinking that getting this stout on there at 1/3 of the mix, and just let it ferment out, is going to get us a nice. I don't even know what you'd really call it. I don't know whether there's an actual terminology for it. I'd have to do some research. I haven't really looked at that. There's probably some correct terminology for it, but the reality is it's a mixed fermentation. It's a heavily fruited beer. I'm not sure. Maybe it's a beard pet nat. Well, we're just going to see. But I'm going to just let this. I'm hoping that this will spontaneously ferment, and we'll get something nice and quite interesting out of it at the end of the day. It's quite tempting. I don't have the bottles, but if I had champagne bottles, I'd be very tempted to just let this sort of ferment for maybe a week or so, and then just put in the champagne bottles and let it finish, and let it naturally carbonate and stuff. But I don't know how accurately I can get a measure of what's unfermentable in here. So anyway, I'll finish filling this one up and come back, and we'll have a look at the as we continue on. Okay, I got a little distracted. Got about 10.5 litres. That's all right. Yeah, around there. Now this has already got an alcohol content, we believe, of somewhere around 6%. That's the best we can calculate off an estimated known gravity of unfermented cherry juice, and what this is fermented to. I don't know whether it's fermented anymore, so it potentially could have about 7%, but for the sake of numbers, I'm just going to work with 6%, because that's a nice round number. It's got like a little circle on the bottom where the 7's a bit more straight. It seems like logical math theory to me anyhow. So what we're going to do is put about 5.5 litres of this stout in there. Got me big funnel, because as people are well aware, I've had some dramas with transferring items from one container to another. And this stout, you'll see some cube. She's pretty bloody full. So I'm not expecting to not make a mess. Hopefully it won't be too terrible. Get an idea where I want to go to. 10.5 might be around there somewhere. Let me just stick a little sticker on there so I can see from a distance what I'm looking at. 15.5. Yeah, we have that 5.5, 5 and 2 1/3, and we'll get this about 16 litres. So, cross everything, gentlemen. Here we go. No, I'm not going too badly. And that's about us. We've got a little flush. That's pretty much exactly where I put that mark. So that's good. And that's it. Yeah, fraction under 16 litres. In he goes, ensuring I've got me bloody hose on the right post. This brew, after the last time when I put it on the bloody on the wrong point, and I had half of my beer end up in the bottom of the ferment fridge. Anyway. PRV's good. Okay. Tiny little bit of floaty, there was a little bit of skin on the top of that, the top of the stout, not much. And there's certainly not any sort of infection or anything like that. There's absolutely no sign of swelling, there's no gas or anything, there's no sign of anything on there. It looks fine, it smells absolutely fine, so not too worried there. So into our other fermenter we'll go the remains of that, which should be around 11 litres, but basically I'm just going to put it all in, then we'll adjust the cherry depending on what we actually get. Getting a bit of stout on my feet. Not a lot, a little bit. The dogs are going to enjoy that. I'll sit outside the beer when I'm finished here and let them clean my toes off. Alright, there she be. Alright. Get it all out. Alright. Way and boom boom, and tell you what, my mathematics was good. There was 2 millimetres over 11 litres there, so that's all good. So I want to go about 10%, so I'm going to bring this up to about, well, let's make it 12.5 litres, a bit more, a fraction over 10% of the final volume. Well, actually 12.5 litres total, 10%, that's 1.25, so yeah, it's about 12.5% maybe of this will then be this sour cherry juice. There's a bit of that bloody skinny stuff there, but like I said, I don't think that's any concern. If anything, I think that's just proteins and things from the actual mash. Like I said, that was the brew that we brewed it down with Steve. I'll put a link up to the brew day earlier in the year. It's the sort of a bits oyster. We threw some oysters in, bloody whatnot. It was a bit of a mixed bag down at Steve's end. He was telling me yesterday it's drinking quite nicely. He is aging it to a winter, but he said it's drinking really nice. So hopefully she'll go well. This base beer was a 1048 gravity initially, so we'll be looking for that to go about 4.5%. So I think we're going to finish somewhere around probably 4.8% ABV, somewhere in that sort of mark. So it's only going to be it's going to be a table stout, standard, pub strength, nothing crazy. And hopefully we just get that nice cherry vibe in there. I'll put some yeast in here. This one's not going ferment, not going spontaneous. I'm going to use Empire Ale M15 Mangrove Jacks. 1 pack thereof, close enough. Nearly a gram a litre. Just straight in. Boom, like that. Simple. Fill her in. So what I'm hoping for this one is that obviously, because at this point the cherry juice is done, it's fermented as much as it's going to spontaneously ferment. So just going to let that Empire Ale do its thing. So they're done. So they're going to go in the fridge, 19 degrees. There's probably a couple of litres of cherry juice still in there. I don't think I'm going to do anything with that. That just might end up down the drain. This is really what I was wanting to do. So guys, that's it. Let's call it a Hilltops. No, I can't call it Hilltops. I haven't paid for the right to use the fucking terminology. Southwest Farmhouse Ale. Little John's Farmhouse, Dark Farmhouse Ale. Let's go with that. We'll see how that goes. I don't know how long this is going to take, and the reality is I will probably let this go for the 2 weeks which I'm going to ferment this fella for, the actual beer itself. Then this cherry juice will go back into a keg of its own to sit for, whatever, just to sit until I can get around to taking a couple of litres off it to go and see how she goes. But the plan would be to overall let it sit for upwards of 2 years and see how it develops. Part of the funky Asian shelf. And this fella, that's it again, looking for a 2-week ferment, 19 degrees initially. Probably give it about a week, about 7 days there, a couple of days at 22 to finish off, and then cold crash, and we'll package this fella up. Don't know if I'll go to kegs or bottles. It's going to depend on where actually how I'm situated for kegs at the time. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, guys, that's them done for now. So, you got any comments or any questions, stick them down the bottom, ask away. As I said, thank you to all the supporters of the channel, Patreon subscribers, all that sort of stuff. Thanks for coming along. So anyway, that's me. So until I see you on the next video, when we brew a beer, drink a beer or talk a beer, good brewing.